All right, y'all. This is just a quick video about time and how time isn't real and why people should turn off their clocks and, you know, um, just completely just tune out of time. And, these aren't all the answers. I think all my videos kind of go together into like one bigger picture, but this is just a quick one about, time. So, if you want to get really technical with it, which, we don't even have to, but just for the skeptics, and just to be like completely concrete, time is measured by like the rotation of like the speed of the rotation of electrons in a certain atom that was chosen at some conference in I think the mid 1900s. And before that, not exactly sure what they were using for time, but I know it evolved because at first it was like more, I think, just like hours or something, and then like later it became like okay, hours and seconds, and I think before that it was just like okay, like when the sun came up and when the sun went down. But now we're living in like a more um, technically advanced society where time is measured by all these other things, right? So it's just an arbitrary like ticking, right? Like 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how fast the atom is moving. But this is the tricky part, right? This is where it gets super fucked up and scary. Is the more this is still concrete science. Time doesn't exist the same everywhere on the planet, right? So like a second for me where I am might be longer than a second where you are, or shorter than a second where you are. And one of these is in the Aqua Loomis song May 20th, where the line goes like, I just read the paper from the National Institute of Standards and Technology. So that's the institute that decides the global time, like everyone's time. And they coordinate with I think France, right? And the line is like they're using fake astrology to keep on time every second till we die. First they add a second, take a breath in. So in the document, maybe I'll link it. I think I actually might have linked it in the past video, and one of the one about like if we stopped counting, or if time only counted up, would people finally wake up? Um, where the document shows like okay, they're sending these times to France to like coordinate like global time, but at the same time they're coordinating it, it's like they're adding seconds and taking seconds away to like making sure that like everyone's aligned on the same time, right? So just like I did with the example yesterday with or just like generally with the examples I give about like language, about like how instead of 500,000 words, if we only had 3 words, like imagine like how much misunderstanding would happen, because language shouldn't exist, because words themselves aren't really expressions of anything other than a miscommunication of what happens in our spirit and our soul from our minds, right? But just like that, with time, if you're adding and taking away seconds, I mean, just imagine if that was on a larger scale, like adding or taking away in like 10 years at a time. Like, that would completely like fuck up and change like everything all the time, right? But just because it's seconds, like people, those in power, the 13 families at the top, the global cult, think that they can get away with it. And they think, with the expansion of more and more technology, with basically being able to like get more and more pixels, like the simulacra song, like just need more and more pixels and more pixels and more pixels, then everything will be perfect for the simulation. um that's basically just the same thing with the time, where it's just like okay, it's never actually going to be perfect. And for the adding and subtracting of times in a way is just actually um proof that time doesn't exist. It's not one thing, and it's not one thing anyway, as proven by like scientists before, that different people, relates time differently. Like if two people have on the same watch or whatever, and somebody goes on a plane and goes somewhere and comes back, um, they'll have like different times on their watch. But yeah. So this is probably a quick video, but hopefully you get what I'm saying. And like the point of this video isn't necessarily to be like, oh, like just like stop, because the whole thing is with the world is that just like you can't necessarily just be like, oh, like I'm gonna stop cold turkey by myself using money. I mean, you could and find a way, but it would be super hard. You would need, the predominant, like a small group or a number of people to like be on the same page, so that you're not doing all the heavy lifting yourself, right? It's like the black sheep, right? Somebody does something that's different from everybody else in society and everybody ridicules them. It's the same thing with this, where it's like, okay, if you're on your own page, you can do that, but it's going to be, not that ridicule is hard, like that shit is easy, but it's harder, I think, when you're living in a world where everybody else is mind controlled to think that like time exists. And I'm saying all of this to be like, time connects to the economy, which connects to your livelihood, which connects to your not security, because that's false. That's a false notion too. But that connects to like your livelihood, yeah, and like the food that you eat, where you can go, how you spend time with, or else, you're going to be put in jail or killed. Like if you don't follow the cult's time, if you don't follow the cult's money system, basically you're committing a crime, and you're going to be put in jail or killed or made a slave, right? So I don't think there's any way I can make it more simple than that, y'all. I hope you're having a great day. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, or like if y'all want me to make videos about something else related to this, or just another topic altogether, because I mean, shit, like we could talk about this shit all day. All right. See you in the next one. Peace.